Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Buffalo SportsCenter video, and today we are going to talk about what the Buffalo Bills have done throughout the first couple of days of this new NFL year, which is free agency. They've certainly been busy and there's a lot to talk about. Before I get to all of that though, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Now, let's move on to all of their signings, starting with, all of the Bills extensions. They have extended Mitch Morse, Isaiah McKenzie, and special teamer Jake Kumerow, all to 2-year or less contracts. Mitch Morse going for 2 years, $19.5 million is his new extension. Isaiah McKenzie, he's probably going to be the successor to Cole Beasley. He just got extended to a 2-year, $8 million contract, and Jake Kumerow is on an undisclosed 1-year deal. I really want to highlight, though, the importance of the Bills bringing back Isaiah McKenzie. As we all know, Cole Beasley was released by the Bills on Thursday, and they really needed another slot receiver. And we saw at times last year Isaiah McKenzie start to fill that role, especially in that Week 16 game against the New England Patriots. He was very good in that game, and I expect him to take over that slot receiver role. Now, this does mean that the Bills should be looking to draft a wide receiver in this year's draft to potentially get another outside threat to fill out that wide receiver room. Now, moving along, we have a couple more extensions. This time, special teamer Saran Neal. He got extended to a very minor deal, but look at what we have here. Defensive end / outside linebacker Von Miller of the Los Angeles Rams was shockingly signed by the Bills to a 6-year, $120 million contract in what is a humongous deal for the Bills. This sent shockwaves through the NFL, and it's set, for the time being at least, the defensive end market. Von Miller, he got a lot of term, but this contract is very much geared to the first 3 and 4 years of the deal, and obviously I don't expect Von Miller to see out the entirety of this contract, but it is a huge exclamation point and a loud message sent by the Bills that they are going to go all in for the Super Bowl this year and, kind of ignore what happens down the road. They're here to win now. And right after that, tight end O.J. Howard from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was signed to a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. He should be a good backup to Dawson Knox, and this signing was necessary as Tommy Sweeney was just not the best depth option there for the Bills. There were certainly better options out there, and like O.J. Howard, and the Bills were able to get a good piece behind Dawson Knox. And maybe this year we see the Bills start lining up in 2 tight end sets. They didn't do that very much last year. We could see an increase of that this year. Moving along now, we have a couple more signings, starting with Roger Saffold. He was the first confirmed signing on the first day of tampering, on Monday that was. He's an offensive guard, veteran, and many-time Pro Bowler from the Tennessee Titans. Saffold is an upgrade over Darrell Williams in the interior of the Bills' offensive line. This is a really good signing, albeit to a 1-year deal, and I get that Saffold is 34 years old, but I feel that he has plenty of juice left in the tank. Also coming over to the Bills is Tim Settle, defensive tackle from the Washington Commies. Settle was a really decent gadget player. He's a really good situational guy. I don't expect him being on the field during late downs, but he's a good early down run stopper. And then the Bills brought in Daquan Jones on a 2-year, $14 million contract from the Carolina Panthers. He is probably going to fill the hole left by the vacating Harrison Phillips along the Bills' defensive line. I like this signing too. It's a really underrated one and one that is not getting a lot of attention from Bills Mafia, even though Daquan Jones is a quality starter in the NFL. It's just that he doesn't have the name recognition, and he's been on a couple of really bad Panthers teams. Moving along to the most recent 2 signings made by the Bills, they brought back 2 fan favorites in the form of Shaq Lawson and Jordan Phillips. Each of these guys got signed within, I think, like 25 minutes of each other. Jordan Phillips got signed first, put out on his press conference transcript saying that Shaq, take the deal. You got a really good offer from the Bills. You better sign. And shortly thereafter, Shaq Lawson did sign. While I'm not sure that either of these guys actually make the roster, these two signings send a clear message that Star Lutulele's Sat on the Bills roster is very much under threat. Jordan Phillips hasn't been at his best since he left Buffalo in 2019, where he had 9.5 sacks. He's kind of bounced around since then, but it's really nice to see him return to where he really developed as an NFL talent. Hopefully he can hit that 9.5 sack ceiling again this season, and given all the insulation, how stacked this defensive line is now for the Bills, I wouldn't be surprised if Phillips emerges again. Now, reminder, both of these guys signed very small one-year deals, but their impact could be great. These are low-risk, high-reward kind of deals. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. You just saw all of the Bills' Week 1 signings for free agency. I was Don. This is Buffalo SportsCenter. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think about the Bills' free agency period so far? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and see y'all in the next video. Cheers.